September 29, 2023, Tel Aviv. Leaders of Israeli opposition said earlier this month that they would support an agreement to normalize relations with Saudi Arabia if the agreement serves and protects country's national and security interests. His statements come as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu struggles with coalition partners who have repeatedly said they would not agree to make significant concessions to the Palestinians even if it cost Israel the Saudi deal. The numerous obstacles to an Israeli-Saudi peace deal have not deterred the wanderlust of Israeli officials, who have begun repeated visits to the Desert Kingdom. This week, the first member of the Israeli government to openly visit Saudi Arabia was Tourism Minister Haim Katz, who attended an international tourism conference, arrived in Riyadh, where the Saudis warmly welcomed him. Next week, two members of Netanyahu's Likud communications minister Shlomo Karhi, who is also a close Netanyahu ally, and Knesset member David Bitan will visit for the Universal Postal Union's conference. Negotiations aside, historical normalization of relations between Jewish state and leading power of Arab world is already a de facto event. This week, Ambassador Nayef al-Sudairi, Saudi Arabia's first envoy to the Palestinian Authority, presented his credentials to Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas at his headquarters in the West Bank city of Ramallah. "We are trying to establish a Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital," al-Sudairi promised his hosts. Without going into too much detail, he also touched upon speech made by Saudi Foreign Minister Faisal bin Farhan at United Nations last week on importance Palestine issue and its solution on basis a two-state solution that will lead to establishment State Palestine. In other words, Israelis, Palestinians and Saudis are behaving as if normalization has been achieved and a Palestinian state has been established. While the first, normalization, seems increasingly possible, the second is not. The concessions Israel must make to the Palestinians are a non-starter for many members of Netanyahu's multi-party coalition, who are demanding and also implementing unilateral measures to eliminate once and for all the possibility of an independent Palestinian state. Some recent reports claim that in exchange for normalization, Riyadh may agree to meet only some of the Palestinian demands. According to these reports, Palestinians could see restrictions being eased, but there were no steps that would put them directly on the path to statehood. If the Palestinians oppose such partial measures, Saudi Arabia may still decide to continue normalization. The real issue right now has nothing to do with contacts between Saudi Arabia and the United States, or between the United States and Israel. Rather, it is about contacts between Biden administration, Netanyahu's government and Israeli town Rosh Ha'Ayin, home of Benny Gantz, former Defense M.